Oh, it's good to be back. Good to be with you. And today we're getting personal. Getting personal, you know? I mean, we are geared for relationship. We are geared for being personal. Sometimes, and recently we had our convention, our Unity convention at Unity Village. Thomas was there and Ogalucia, and it was so great to connect with all these people. And I recognized how much I love connecting with people. We are hardwired for relationship and for connection. And in our movement, there is sometimes dialectical tension. There is sometimes this ongoing debate and discussion about who we are and what we believe and what we're about and what our mission is and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, really? After 125 years, we couldn't figure this out. But I really believe in that evolutionary purpose that we have, that's centered in God. We are transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. So what we're about is transformation. And transformation occurs in relationship. It occurs in connection with one another. There are people watching every week from Wichita, Kansas. Every week we welcome you, Wichita, and there's people from Marin County watching us. There's people from other places on the planet. We welcome you. And I got the chance on this trip to connect with people from that I had known from Unity of Wichita. And I need to pass on to you the power of transformation. So one of the people that I'm close to that is watching today came to me and said, "You'll never know what a difference you have made in my life. You've literally saved my life." The power of transformation, the power of connection, the power of love. What we do here, we're not playing church. I have no interest in playing church. What we're doing here is about transforming lives. And this person is so grateful for our services and others tuning in every week. You are part of our ohana. You are part of us. We love you. We are all one beloved community. We are hardwired for relationship. As I was connecting with those people from Unity of Wichita and connecting with family, got to be with a lot of family, I just recognized how important relationship is. Sometimes people have said to me, "Why do you go to that church? Why do you have church? You can just do this at home alone. You can just study and know the truth inside." And yes, you can know the truth inside. But the person telling me that connects with an online community all the time. They still need relationship. Why wouldn't God be that way? We sometimes think of God at, and Jesus said God is spirit, and they that worship him worship in spirit and in truth. And so we think of God sometimes as this ethereal, invisible, unfathomable, beyond, Yes, and very, very personal. And this is where I'm getting personal. I am convinced in my own life that while I believe in God as immutable law, infinite principle, this impersonal force that lives and moves as each one of us, I'm convinced that is not enough for me. I'm convinced that I need a personal God. So I want to ask you, and here is your homework assignment if you choose to accept it. How personal is your God? In what way is your God personal? I remember being with a leader in the unity movement. This leader was high up in the unity movement, and they had gotten cancer. And so I was working with them in the hospital and giving them the opportunity to talk. They were in complete and utter panic. They had no sense that I could discern of God being present in any way, shape, or form. And this is one of the leaders that was directing our movement. Now, I'm not being critical, but I thought, well, no, I'm not. I just find it sad. I find it sad that someone could be in our movement for so long, be a leader in our movement, and not have a sense of a personal connection, not have a sense of a personal connection with God. Now, some people in unity don't quite understand what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, believing that your spirit will recognize the truth of this. God is my closest friend. I don't mean just in theory. I don't mean just from a cerebral point of view. I don't mean from a philosophical perspective. I mean God walks with me every day. I do a japa walk. Every morning, I go out. These are japa beads, prayer beads. So I do a japa walk every morning. This morning, I went out about 4 in the morning. It was so beautiful. It's one of the few quiet times in Honolulu. I could sense God walking with me. Yesterday, I could hear God saying, I'm with you. It's okay. I'm with you. It's all right. Now that may sound strange to you. You may be like, I don't get that. And that's okay if you don't get that. But I'm talking about God is as personal as we will allow. God is as personal as we will allow. Last night when I got on Text in Church, a number of you are on that. There's over 200 of you that are on that now. And when I sent out the Text in Church message, and I asked, how personal is your God? One person who is also watching responded and said, God is as close as my breath. Every moment is present. Do you have that sense that God is always with you? Good. Who said that? Is that Bev? Yeah. Good. Hope this is okay to share, Mom. While I was in Wichita, my mom got COVID for the first time. She's 98 and a half. She's never had a cold, never had the flu. The last time she had a sore throat, she was 8 years old. She's 98 and a half. Lives independently. Powerful woman. She's 4'8", but she's very powerful. And things got to the point where we needed to go into the hospital. So some people here have asked me, oh, did you have a restful time away? Well, I mean, I was seeing a lot of people and the convention and then, hospital. It's not so fun. So I was with her most of the time there in the hospital. That's hard, isn't it? When you're with someone you love, and you wonder what you can do. And I remember the doctor coming in and talking with my mom about treatment decisions. Do you want this done? Do you want this done? Do you want this done? Have any of you ever had that conversation with your doctor or with your durable power of attorney to guarantee what it is that will be done for you if it comes down to it? I recommend it. And I thought, ugh, I know she's 98 and a half, but she's part of my life. Now, thankfully, she's doing very, very, very well. She's normal. She kicked COVID in the butt. She did. She got out of the hospital pretty fast, but it was scary for me for a while. And during some of those tough times in our lives, during some of those times in our lives where maybe a loved one has relapsed, where maybe a loved one is sick, where maybe there doesn't seem to be enough money to cover everything, where maybe there's some difficulty in your family or you're far from family. Do you know that there is a friend with you that is closer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat, that God is there with you? That God is personal? Yes, God is infinite. We've talked about the three faces of God, We've talked about infinite God, and we've talked about God living in, through, and as us. I'm talking about God as closest friend right now. In Sanskrit, it's Brahman, that's this infinite consciousness, Paramatma, God living in me, and then Bhagavan. God right beside me as friend. And even if I can't always tell it, that friend is there. That friend never leaves. More than anything, God is friend. God is lover. I'm just wanting to plant that seed in you. If that's a concept that's unfamiliar to you, I just want to see if your spirit might recognize the truth of that. So when I came back late Wednesday night, the 3rd, I thought, oh boy, we're going to have a big celebration here in Honolulu for 4th of July. Wow, it was quite anticlimactic. I heard a pop there and a pop there, but there's no firework display. It was like, okay. In Wichita, you can hardly hold them back. They started on July 1st, I thought about independence. What does real freedom and independence mean? For me, I lose my sense of knowing what I'm about and who I am when I lose touch with my closest friend. For me, my greatest freedom, my greatest independence is found in what June was reading about, the love. That real love with my loved one, with God. By the way, Sidi Muhammad he recently passed, was a guide in the Shadaliya Tariqa of Sufism. I know Marcia has had connection with that group, as have I. And it's, whatever faith tradition you look at, it's about really getting close to the one, getting close to that oneness, getting close to that love, getting close to God. So I just want to encourage you. Whatever you are going through in your life, I want you to know that there is someone there who is closer than a brother, someone who is closer than your breath. The presence of God is there. Whatever happens, since I came back, I've taken some walks and watched people. And I saw this man walk by. I thought it was my brother. He looked like my brother. And I'm staring at him, and he turns and stares at me, probably wondering, why are you staring? And I recognized that love, that connection, never dies. Our loved ones, those who have invested in our lives, and everyone here, I hope, has had someone that is invested in your life. I hope everyone here has had someone who has believed in you. This brother helped to raise me. He believed in me. So getting personal is not only about how personal God is, but how personal we are as beloved community. You make more difference in people's lives than you have any idea. I wish we could all go to our own funeral so we could hear how much people love us. But being beloved community means we can share that while we're still here. Share with others how much you love them. Share with others how they've touched your life. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be open and let them know. Many of you have touched my life in ways that you don't even know about. It's like, why don't you know about it? I need to share that. As part of how we build community. That's part of how we are getting personal. We're not here to play church. We are here to build community. By being real with each other, sharing with one another who we are. Those of you online, please let us know who you are. Let us know what's going on in your lives. Let us know what's happening. You can write to me at RevTim, RevTim, RevTim at unityhawaii.org. You can write me. You can connect with me on text in church. Sometimes there's a little delay. Doesn't come directly to my phone. but we can connect that way. Let us know. We are here for one another. We are here for the transformation of lives. That song we sang, do you know that you are beautiful? Do you know? Do you know how precious you are? Do you know you are the image and likeness of God? You are the presence of God? I bow to you. I give thanks to you. And I'm grateful to be here with you. Thank you. At this time, we'll get ready for our meditation. And this is a time for us to let it sink in a little deeper. And Ralph is running around. I want to give Ralph some instructions here in just a second. Ralph, would you give us 2 minutes of silence today when we go into the silence, please? I found that sometimes we can really connect with that presence, that beloved. We can really connect with the love when we go into the silence. And a minute doesn't seem long enough. To me, it's just a taste. I invite you to take a deep breath right where you are. If you wish, close your eyes or relax your gaze, knowing the presence of God living in you. This presence has been with you since you have been. This is beloved friend. This is divine lover. This presence, God, loves you more than you could ever imagine. Let's go into the silence with that. We give thanks, Spirit, for your presence. As we lean into this song that we are about to sing about your will being done on earth as it is in heaven.